Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. How we doing today? How are things going? It's kind of a little. It's not that cold today here in Chicago, but it's still. I almost thought about wearing shorts, and then I was like, "No, don't do it." It's a cloudy, overcast day, though, but that's kind of the rhythm for fall. But anyway, hello everyone. Hopefully, all of you are doing well. Like I said, welcome to another daily live stream. Today is Tuesday, October 14th. Can you believe we're halfway through October already? If you're unaware of what these accountability live streams are, this is where I share with you my journey. This is where I share with you what I eat, what my weight is, what kind of fasting protocol I'm on. This is my accountability to all of you that, how can I say it? While this might sound trivial to just share this, to me, this is very important. This is me showing my accountability in a different way. This is me saying, hey, I'm here. Maybe yesterday wasn't the greatest, or today I'm not feeling it, or yeah, today is amazing. But regardless of how I feel, I want to make sure that I can still share with full transparency. Because for me, the moment that I start slipping on accountability is the moment I start slipping on the way I fast or the way I eat. Remember, this is also an accountability live stream for other people who are here in chat. So please feel free to share your journey. Feel free to share how things are going for you. And remember, this isn't just to share the good. It's amazing if you're doing good things, and I want to hear about it. And you'll see people in chat share, but they're also sharing the good and the bad, because it's really easy to share the good. It's another thing to share maybe when you're having a slip up or you're struggling a bit. So, and you'll see me share that. It's not like I've been doing this every day and every day has been a good day. I'd be lying to you right now if I said yesterday was the cleanest eating day, because it wasn't. But that's okay. The accountability piece, me sharing that, is really changing the way I eat. It's a reminder that I need to always push on my journey. Miss Peaceful One with a $2 super chat. Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the support as always. Miss Peaceful One says the intro is getting longer. We love you. There are so many. I haven't even added everyone yet. I think I'm probably missing another 15 people because we've had, I believe, 15 new people, I think 2 days ago, which has allowed me to add a new emoji. I haven't done that yet, but Miss Peaceful One, thank you for the $2 super chat. Yes, the names on the intro are getting a lot longer. If some of you are wondering what Miss Peaceful One is talking about, if you notice people in chat who have a green color next to their name, or a little badge next to their name like this, that's because they're part of the Finally Fasting fam. We have a lot of members. I think I'm almost at 200 at this point, which is a little crazy. But before I begin, Mandla, Ian, For the Good, Aisha, who else is in here? Maggie, May, Tommy, hello. Johnny Ravioli, Shauna, how's it going? Tommy Monroe, nice to see you. Who else is in here? Hopefully I didn't miss anyone as I'm scrolling down here. Happy Bunny, nice to see you. Megan, how's it going? Margaret from Facebook says, hello, Jerome. How's your refeed? It was pretty good. I'll share with you in a little bit everything I ate last night. Lynn, hello. Nice to see you. Almadas, how's it going? Cap Rising, hello, hello. Blessed Life, nice to see you here as well. Trumpet, I see you. What's going on? K Betters, hello, hello. Randall, so many of you are in here. It's nice to see you all. Tanisha, hello. Bad Mash, how's it going? Priceman 5, nice to see you in here as well. Did I say for the good? But hi for the good. Uncle Reggie says, hey, everybody, with the wave. How's it going, Uncle Reggie? Nice to see you. Toya, nice to see you as well. Tanya, nice to see you. And I think that's everybody for now. So remember, this is your chance to share your accountability. This is your opportunity to share how things are going for you. And I'm going to highlight some of that. We're going to go through this. Remember, even though I'm talking about my accountability and sharing where I'm at, I also want to highlight how other people are doing because we're doing this together. We're doing this as a community. I also, just to let you all know here, I have a hard cutoff at around, I would say maybe 3:30-ish, maybe give or take 5 minutes. I do have something I need to prep for a meeting later today. So 3:30-ish is probably my hard cap here. But as I scroll back up, let's go through a couple people. Let's go through a couple chats here that people have shared. Ian says, I completed a 22-hour fast earlier. Congrats on your 22-hour fast, down to my lowest weight since January of 2022. That's, what is that, 3 years? Over 3 years, almost 4 years hitting your lowest weight. And look at this. This is Ian completing a 22-hour fast. If I remember correctly, Ian usually completes something closer to OMAD and is still finding results. This is a reminder for many of you who are in here. This isn't just about fasting for 3 days, 5 days a week, time and time again. This can also be an opportunity for you to fast shorter, to learn how to work on your other weight loss levers, to work on the way you eat, the way you exercise, the way you sleep, because all of these levers will help you, will assist you in your journey. Yes, today is day 709 of my fasting journey. That's what I titled this live stream, but it isn't just about fasting. This is about my health and wellness. This is about working all my levers. Ian, congrats on getting to your lowest weight in almost 4 years. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing with us. Aisha says here, I didn't drop any weight from yesterday, day 2 of being 186. It's a bit frustrating, but I just have to relax and trust the process. And that's well said. Remember, trust the process. If you know you're putting yourself at a severe caloric deficit, regardless of what the scale says, and you trust the process and you just keep pushing forward, you're going to see the scale move the way you want it to move. I know it can be frustrating for many of us, and this is why it's really important to also have your non-scale victories. I love, though, that Aisha realizes that she has to trust the process. How many of us have stepped on the scale, didn't like what it showed or what it said, or both, and then you ended up completely throwing away the day? You said, well, this isn't the weight I expected, so now it's time to eat. Now it's time to not get my steps in. Now it's time to just wait till Monday. Oh, let's just start tomorrow then. Because you know what? Now I really just want to break because this stupid scale messed with my head. Why are you letting a number on the scale get to you in that way? I get it. I've been there. Many people who are in here in chat have probably faced or have been through similar or the exact same situation. And if your initial instinct is to eat because you didn't like what the scale showed, then it's time to give the scale a break. It's time to start looking at your non-scale victories. Think about how your clothes fit. Think about what your energy's like. If you're somebody that's checking your blood sugar regularly, is that blood sugar number in an optimal place? Are you going Are you going to your doctor to get your blood work done? Are the numbers good? There are a lot of non-scale victories that you should be paying attention to outside of just what the number on the scale says, because it's a little silly, isn't it? When you don't like what the number says and then you revert to eating when you know, in fact, that eating isn't going to make things any better. It might make things better mentally for a short period of time. You'd be like, oh, it's just so good to eat like this and not think about X, Y, and Z. But if that's where your head is going, then you need to ask yourself the next question. Am I pushing too hard? Am I doing something that isn't going to be sustainable? Because even though I encourage people to do hard things and to do amazing things, it's also really important that you are doing something that will eventually be sustainable, that eventually can be long-term. So keep that in mind. Thank you for sharing with us, Aisha. Yeah, and I mean, as Aisha says, I'll be 96 hours fasted in a little over an hour. Aisha is almost 4 days fasted at this point. The scale isn't budging. The number isn't budging. But at the same time, Aisha has to trust the process. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to lose body fat, the easiest way to do that is to take in 0 calories. By easiest, I mean the fastest way. The fastest way to drop weight on the scale is to just keep the calories away. There's no other way. Because imagine if Aisha saw that number and was like, I'm still stuck at this weight. I'm still here 2 days being at the same weight. I guess I should just eat now. You and I both know that if the goal is to continue to lose body fat, you have to keep yourself at a caloric deficit, and completely reverting to just eating whatever isn't going to be the solution. Now, if Aisha was truly hungry and could not fast any longer, then the next proper move here would then be to break, and maybe break clean and keep the calories in check. That's better than just completely throwing away the day. That's practicing imperfect consistency instead of just pretending, not even pretending, just throwing away the day completely. Mandla says, today is day 14 of ADF. Congrats on 2 weeks of doing ADF. It's my fasting day. It's my fasting day too. So you and I, Mandla, are doing it together. Currently 27 hours fasted. I'm not that many hours in just yet, but I'll get there. The weight is still going down nicely for me. I'm down 11 pounds or 5 kg since starting. Congratulations, Mandla. Thank you for sharing with us. I love that for you. It sounds like ADF sounds really consistent. Sounds like something that you can do for the long term. Keep us posted, Mandla. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing. Maggie Mesa's finished a 94-hour fast at noon today. Almost a 4-day fast. Might as well be. Refed with hamburger, shrimp, sauteed in butter. That sounds really good. Reset my timer for the next round. I love that for you, Maggie May. Congrats on a 94-hour fast. When you say the next round, are we talking about another 90-ish hour fast? I'm curious. I don't know what your plan is, or are you flexibly fasting? Are you kind of just switching the hours there? But thank you for sharing with us, Maggie May. Tommy says, what up, my fasting peeps? It's been a couple of days, I know. Tommy, it's still nice to see you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for sharing with us. My son has been hospitalized. Oh goodness, I can't even pronounce that. Rhabdomyolysis. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'm so sorry to hear that, Tommy. Since Thursday, my wife and I have been back and forth to the hospital every day. Hopefully things are better with your son, Tommy. Tommy says here, I really want to eat my feelings, and I could have, but I didn't. That's huge. That's especially tough, especially during a moment like this. And Tommy, you'll have to keep us posted. And obviously, it makes sense why maybe you haven't been here for a couple of days, especially with something big like this happening. I fasted. It's the only thing I have control over right now. Please keep us in your prayers. Tommy, thank you for sharing that with us. And thank you for sharing something so big, especially something like that. You make a really good point, though, in saying right now, especially with the condition that your son is in a lot of ways, taking care of yourself is the control that you know you will always have. And sometimes just knowing that you're in control is enough to keep things sane or stable. And I also know at the same time, many of us who might face a situation like this resort to eating. Tommy says it right here. I really want to eat my feelings, but Tommy knows that he doesn't have to go that route. It's also just these situations, something like this happening, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to imperfect consistency, because everybody eventually their journey is going to get thrown off. And so if you are in here just striving for perfection and not realizing that these moments like something like this might happen and might completely throw you off, it's time to really open your eyes and be like, yeah, how am I going to prepare for something like this? Most of us don't know how. But if maybe in the back of your mind, you are aware of imperfect consistency and giving yourself grace, it might be the missing piece for you to be like, yeah, this is awful right now, or I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. And maybe you might succumb to doing things that are typically off of your routine, but maybe it won't go completely out of control. And maybe you will find some control, because while you're here and you're realizing that habits need to change, maybe you start rewiring your brain, preparing for whatever might happen in life. Tommy, thank you for sharing with us. Please keep us posted. Appreciate you sharing with us. Thank you so much. Johnny says, I'm a huge failure. Fasting is really hard for me. I had a live stream a couple days ago where I talked about failing forward. And I also said that if you're not failing, you're not growing. So I want Johnny to hear this, and anyone else here who thinks they're a quote unquote failure. Those failing moments are opportunities for you to learn and grow from it. So fasting is hard for you. I was just showing Ian earlier, who is doing OMAD and is finding success in losing weight. Now, I'm not saying that you doing OMAD is going to find you success initially, but this might be a reminder for you, Johnny, that, okay, fasting is really hard. Johnny says, I have no idea how people can actually go several days without food. 18 to 20 hours is all I can accomplish. So here's the perfect scenario. Johnny, okay, maybe your goal is to fast for 3 days, 5 days, 1 week, whatever that might be. But right now, if you're only fasting for 18 to 20 hours, that's still not a failure. That doesn't mean you're not putting work in, because you absolutely are. The next question that you have to ask yourself is, okay, I'm fasting for 18 to 20 hours right now. That's the most I can do right now. What's your diet look like? Are you exercising? What's your sleep look like? Are you doing any strength training? Are you working on why you're breaking so early? Are you eating because you're bored, for comfort, because you're stressed out? Or are you eating because you're truly hungry? And if you're truly hungry, that's fine. But then what needs to happen after that is, okay, I broke early. It's time to clean up the diet. It's time to limit my calories. It's another weight loss lever that you have to work on. And I've said this before, but if you can fast for 18 to 20 hours, you can fast for 20 hours and 15 minutes. You can fast for 20 hours and 30 minutes. You can eventually fast for 21 hours. And the more you do it, the more you put this into practice, the more you practice imperfect consistency, the better that you work your fasting muscle. This is how you build your fasting muscle. Not a lot of people are built to just fast for days on end. Some people are. I feel like I'm one of those people. But my diet isn't the best. And that's why I continue to work on it. I could just fast 3-4 days right now until I got to my goal weight, whatever that goal weight will be. But me doing that isn't going to fix my issues with eating. And that's something that I'm constantly working on, is my relationship with food and the way I control calories. And maybe, Johnny, you eat cleaner. And even if you're like, but I don't, Jerome, I still overeat. Well, this is an opportunity for you to work on multiple things here. It's you working on your fasting muscle, you working on your diet, you working on your exercise, you working on your sleep, you working on your mental health. There's a lot to be said, but I get it. It's really easy to say, well, I suck. This sucks. This isn't for me. But I do feel like over time, you can build that fasting muscle. And a lot of that is going to be dependent on your other weight loss levers too. Sometimes it's just as easy as looking at your sleep. For many of us, if our sleep is awful, it really will push up hunger cues. It could just be something as simple as that, working on a good sleeping routine. Johnny, please keep us posted. I know you've been in here before, and so I would love for you to hang out, hang around, share where you're at, and I would love to eventually see you in the future be like, hey, Jerome, I'm still sticking with it, and here is where I'm at today. I would love to see that. I know you can do it. I know many of us can do it. And like I've said, the only difference between you or anyone in here and me is that I just continue to show up every day. And that's what's getting me the success. At least that's what I think, because I'm continuing to work on every single weight loss lever that I can. Thank you for sharing with us, Johnny. Please keep us posted. Keep us posted. You guys are so kind, talking to each other and helping each other out. Johnny says here, what foods are best for fasting? And I think it's because Miss Peaceful One had shared, and Miss Peaceful One says, most have to build up to it, right? Working or building your fasting muscle. Miss Peaceful One says, currently 91 hours into a fast. Congrats, Miss Peaceful One, almost 4 days in. What you eat matters on how long you can go as well. And that really plays a big part, because here's the thing. This is also very dependent from person to person. Is I have noticed for myself, if I eat foods that are high in protein, if I get a good enough amount of protein, if I eat foods that are even not necessarily the cleanest, it takes the mental pressure off of me. But that's why I mix a lot of good whole foods, and I eat that at the very beginning. You'll see this in the way I refeed today. I structure the way I eat and still eat whatever I want to help hold me off to push my next fast. I feel like that's one of the things that sets me up for success. So I'm not just eating a lot of non-nutrient dense foods. I eat a lot of nutrient dense foods because I do feel like doing that is signaling my body to say, okay, or signaling my body to say, okay, you gave me what I needed. I'm going to turn these hunger cues off. So when you ask, Johnny, what foods are best for fasting, the way I look at it is whole foods, clean foods. I tell people 1 ingredient foods. A carrot's a carrot. Corn is corn. Meat is meat. Bananas, bananas. Bananas, bananas. A banana is a banana, right? Whole foods. But a donut's not just a donut. A Twix bar is not just a Twix bar. And I'm not saying you can't eat those foods, but those foods you want to leave at the very end. For now, keep the foods clean and whole at the beginning, kind of have those other foods if you want at the end. But you're also going to have to play around with that and see what's helpful for you. Please, again, Johnny, keep us posted. Sorry, all. I'm just looking at chat here. And remember, I'm not going to be able to get to everyone on here, but I want to read what I can and share with everyone. So I also have a time limit today. I need to finish in less than an hour. So I wonder, maybe one day I'll just go through the entire chat and I'll just clear my day out. But I don't know. I feel like that would take a long time. Happy Bunny says, hi, back again. It's such a mind game trying to keep in this. I'm exhausted. Tried one of my homemade recipes and it wasn't terrible. I'm a bad cook. I was a bad cook too. It's taken me time to get really, or at least decent at cooking food. Today, everything's a bit off. Day 17. So the first thing I see here, Happy Bunny, is when you say, well, it's such a mind game trying to keep in this. I get that. But where's the mind game here? Is the mind game fasting for a long period of time? Is the mind game getting your steps in? I'm guessing maybe it's a combination of it all. But when you say something like, I'm exhausted, the first thing that comes to my head is when someone says, I'm exhausted, are you restricting too much? Are you trying to do too much at this point? Because if that is the case, it's time to maybe take a step back. If you're exhausted, if you feel like you're doing too much, take a step back. There's nothing wrong with that. Where are you feeling exhausted? Is it because you have a laundry list of things to do? Or what it might mean too is when I say take a step back, it doesn't mean don't fast, don't eat well. What I think about is how can you make this a little easier, at least for the time being, until you don't feel exhausted and then you do have the motivation to push harder. You have to play around with that. There are days when I'm not feeling it and I give myself grace. And that's why it's really important that all of us give ourselves grace when we do this. Megan says doing good, didn't lose any the last 3 days though. And Megan is on a prolonged extended fast and is in the same boat. The number might not be pushing on the scale, but progress is being made. Megan, I don't know if you said specifically where you're at, but thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Elmadis says, good day. Even walked half an hour in the park. Congrats on working on your exercise lover. Thanks for all the inspiration and the support. No problem, Elmadis. And thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for keeping us posted with where you're at. Okay, I'm going to scroll down a bit here. I know I'm not going to be able to get to everyone. Did somebody else donate? Peace to all with a $2 donation. Peace to all. Thank you for the support. I'm sorry I missed this. I'm not sure when you put this out, but thank you for supporting. You didn't even say anything. Peace to all. But I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Bad Mash says, completed my first 26-hour fast today and refed, started another 24-hour fast, but felt famished after exercise. So congrats, Bad Mash, on completing a 26. Now, for doing another 24 and then feeling famished after exercise, this is going to take some time. And my advice for anybody who's watching this is if you are fasting, because sometimes people will leave comments and they'll be like, I'm fasting, but right now I feel sick. I feel weak. And my advice to anyone who is feeling that way is, if you're feeling awful, if you cannot function like a normal human being, if you cannot work properly, if you cannot get out of your bed, it's time to break. It's time to break your fast. That's the simplest way I can put it. Because yes, you can try drinking more water. You can try taking some electrolytes. You can even try having a 0-calorie drink. And if that helps you and it prolongs your fast, that's great. But if you've tried those things, even bone broth, even just having a small amount of calories, and it triggers you, or you still feel weak and nauseous or lightheaded or whatever it might be, it's time to break. No shame, no guilt, no embarrassment because you broke early. All you do instead is you refeed. If you didn't fast for as long as you thought you would, clean up the diet, eat a little less. Of course, easier said than done when you're talking to someone like me who has difficulties keeping the calories down. But if you practice imperfect consistency, if you can give yourself some grace, then you'll be like, okay, it is what it is. I'm working on building my fasting muscle. I'm okay with this. I'm going to refeed. I'll try to make some mindful choices. Hopefully, I won't go over the calorie limit that I'm trying to adhere to. I'll eat as clean as I can, and then I'll hit my timer and go again and build my fasting muscle. You would be surprised if you would be surprised at the practice of imperfect consistency and how much better you'll get with your fasting regimen, your fasting protocol. It takes time. It's not like everybody can just wake up one day and do a 1-week fast. I've done it. Other people have done it, but it's not for everyone, and that's okay. Just because somebody else did doesn't mean that you are going to do it. Stop comparing yourself to other people on here. I say this too. Stop comparing yourself to me. My journey is my journey. Your journey is yours. Everyone's is going to be different. It's weird. It's like, in a way, I'm like, man, it's crazy that I can eat 6,000 calories, 10,000 calories. In a way, I even brag about it. But at the same time, yeah, there's a part of me that's like, why was I cursed with this? Why do I eat this way? All I know is, and like earlier, a lot of this is about control. It's like, okay, this is just the fact. This is how it is for me. I just need to control it. I need to figure it out. Thank you for sharing with us, Bad Mash. Appreciate you sharing with us. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here. I'll see if there's a couple others. Hi, Dynamite. Nice to see you. Welcome. JC Skate Hills, nice to see you. 1,400 calories, 200 grams of protein. Killing it with protein there. That's a lot of protein for 1,400 calories. I mean, I ate 200 calories yesterday, or I ate 200 grams of protein yesterday, and my calories were a lot higher, but I did eat a lot of carbs yesterday. But thank you for sharing with us, JC. JC says, can you discuss the potential role of hydration and electrolytes for appetite reduction? So if you're talking about the science behind it, I'm the wrong person. I need to do my own homework when it comes to the science about this. But I will say this, JC. So for me, when it comes to, let's say, hydration and electrolytes, for many people, just consuming something like liquids, for one, our bodies might be, or our brains might be telling us we're hungry, when instead all it takes is drinking a glass of water. And sometimes it turns that signal off. But I will say, for somebody, especially at the beginning of my journey, when I did feel maybe some lightheadedness, or I did feel a little nauseous or a little weak, when I would just take a pinch of salt and pop that under my tongue, and maybe I take multiple pinches of salt and drink some water, or drink a Coke Zero, or drink a Diet Coke, or a Diet Dr. Pepper, I'd automatically feel better. Now, the role behind it, The only thing that I can really share is when you're fasting and you're peeing or you're going to the bathroom, you're pretty much flushing out electrolytes. And I know other people can probably explain this better in chat, but the way I see this then is, okay, if you're doing that, that's where you need to replenish. That's where the electrolytes get replenished. But you're also talking to someone now who has done 90-hour fasts, who has done, let's say, a week-long fast, and I've done it without electrolytes. I know if I drink a black coffee or a Coke Zero, there's a little bit of potassium and a little bit of sodium in it. So maybe I'm getting traces of electrolytes in there, and maybe that's why I'm able to fast for longer. But I know that your body needs to get replenished with it. But here's the other thing. When I break my fasts and I refeed, I eat foods that are high in sodium, high in potassium, high in magnesium. I try to replenish my refeeds with foods that are high in that so I can continue doing what I'm doing. Probably not the answer you're looking for there, JC, but hopefully other people in chat can share that, or at least share their experience with that. Jacques with a $10 super chat. This name's very familiar, right? We've talked before. Have you donated before? Jacques with a huge $10 donation. Thank you for the support, Jacques. Jacques says, my current weight is 235. I want to get down to 190. My timer is activated for 100 hours of fasting. I've already completed 39 hours. Way to go, Jacques. I love that for you. Connecting on this live stream is giving me more strength. Hey, use this. Use this platform to help you get through your fast. If anything, Jacques, let us know tomorrow where you're at. And I'm going to say this to you too. I want you to get to 100 hours. And I'm not saying this to discourage you, but I will say this. Tomorrow, let us know if you're at 39 right now. So that would put you at 63 tomorrow. Let us know when you're 63 hours in, or whatever that time frame looks like when I live stream. Keep us posted. But I say this to you too. If you break early, do not feel ashamed. Do not feel embarrassed. Do not feel guilty about it. Instead, let us know. Keep us posted and work on your other weight loss levers. So if you break early, then what it might mean for you is keeping the calories down. Or what it might mean for you is keeping the diet cleaner. Or what it might mean for you is after you refeed tomorrow, you're going to get some extra steps in. You're going to go to the gym and lift weights and take advantage of the calories you've taken in. Keep us posted, Jacques. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the huge donation. I appreciate you, Jacques. Thank you. Also, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. Thank you again. Margaret from Facebook says, non-scale victory. Hubby put his arms around me this morning and said, wow, you're getting smaller. I've been smiling all day. I love that, Margaret. That's a huge non-scale victory. Actually, it's really interesting that you say that, because it's something that I forget about too. How many of you have started to lose weight and people notice? That's a big non-scale victory. That's actually a really good call out, Margaret. I love that, because sometimes we get so into it and we forget about, like, even for me, as I continued to lose weight, there was a part of me at one point where I was just like, I don't know if I'm really losing. I can't really tell. But then all of a sudden, I haven't seen someone in a while and they say something and it's like, oh shit, I guess I am. That's a great feeling. I love that for you, Margaret. Thank you for sharing with us. Tanisha says, I'm 92 hours deep into a fast. I plan to go for 1,080. How many, oops, I opened the wrong thing here. How many days is that? 45 days, Tanisha. That's a long time. I mean, I'm guessing if you need any help or assistance, talk to Aisha, because Aisha's gone that long, even longer than that. But Tanisha, keep us posted as well. And I'll say this too. Just like I said earlier, no shame, no embarrassment. If you break earlier, just keep us posted and let us know. But congrats on being 92 hours in. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing with us. Yeah, Uncle Reggie says, I only look at the scale twice a month for my mental health. And you know what, Uncle Reggie? I mean, Miss Peaceful One does the same thing. So a really great tactic for people who might have issues when it comes to that. Thank you for sharing with us. Okay, everyone, I need to really get, oh my goodness, we're 45 minutes in, and I need to really get into my stats here. So, okay, let's get into it. I need to share nerd stats. I have 40 minutes or so. So I will try to read other people's chats or comments. So please feel free to still continue sharing. As I am sharing my nerd stats, I will go through chat or at least read through chat and try to highlight things whenever I can. E-Gunner, hi E-Gunner, how's it going? I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Willis, nice to see you as well. Hello, hello. Okay, so nerd stats, everyone. Today is day 709 of my fasting journey. Is it just fasting? No, this is about weight loss. This is about health and wellness. This is about taking care of myself. This is about being my best self. It has been 709 days. Has it been perfect every single day? No, absolutely not. But it's been a majority of good days and some bad days. But there is no more restarting. There is no more saying day one. There's no more saying, well, I'm just going to start on Monday. There's no more saying, well, you know what? It's already October 15th or the middle of October. I know it's the 14th. I'm not sitting here saying, you know what? It's the middle of October. The year's almost over. Let's just start January 1st. Let's have a clean break January 1st. How many times have you done that? How many of you said January, or how many of you said 2025 is my year? And here you are, still starting over. How many of you said 2024 is my year? 2023, 2022. Enough. Just start your journey, keep pushing on, keep moving forward. In the last 83 days of my journey, I have been live streaming every single day for added accountability. In the last 83 days, I have done rounds of ADF, fasting every other day, eating every other day. In the last 83 days, I have lost almost 30 pounds in about 5 weeks. Just doing rounds of ADF, but also having some longer fasts, but also having some days where I'll eat close to 8,000 calories, 5,000 calories. In the last 83 days, I've also gone on vacation. Some days eating back-to-back days, eating more than I thought, but still keeping the weight off, still continuing on my journey. Currently, if I can get the app to open, which it's taking a second here. Currently, I am almost 16 hours into my fast. Today is a complete fasting day. I am working on my 4th round of ADF today. I've been practicing imperfect consistency for honestly the last 709 days. Some fasts really long, other fasts not as long, but no shame behind that. And as I have been just doing ADF, fasting every other day, eating every other day, my weight is still continuing to push down. Now, yesterday was my refeed day. Yesterday's goals was to keep my calories under 3,000, keep my protein above 190. Was I able to keep my protein above 190? Sure. We all know what the harder part was. Was I able to keep my calories under 3,000? No. But am I beating myself up about it? No. Did I continue doing what I needed to do after? Yeah, that's why I'm fasting right now. So let's dig in to what my refeed looked like yesterday. I just love how the first shot here is of me with a Italian sausage. This is a turkey Italian sausage. Actually, you know what? When I I talk highly about this one, but I might be getting a little tired of it. I ate this yesterday. It was still really good, but I might need a break from it. So had sausage yesterday. I had my Brussels sprouts. You all know how much I love my Brussels sprouts. I did have some of this with my balsamic vinegar as I dip it in there. Still one of my favorite vegetables. I eat it at every refeed, probably 99.9% of them. Afterwards, I'm waiting for that clip. This is much longer than I thought. I had zucchini. I haven't had zucchini in a minute. This is about a pound of zucchini. I also had about a pound of Brussels sprouts, and I had 4 Italian turkey sausages. The zucchini was good. I haven't had it in a minute, so I really enjoyed it. And then afterwards, if you see this, so even after having 4 Italian sausages, I still ended up eating a bowl of, and this is chicken Italian sausage this time. It was like ground from the same company. And actually, this was really good. But this was chicken Italian sausage, or chicken Italian ground chicken with Italian seasoning or whatever. And put this with spaghetti sauce and mushrooms and tomatoes with a bed of rice. It was so good. It was really good. I haven't had this in a while. It's like spaghetti, but instead of pasta, I'm Filipino. I'm going to eat everything with rice. So that was really good. Really enjoyed it. And then I had corn. There was a little butter in this corn too. So I had something in my mouth there. Corn was great. I think I had maybe half a pound of corn. And then I'm just waiting for the next scene, everyone. I had 2 very ripe bananas, as you see me eating there. And I don't know if I dropped something and I'm either looking for it, and then I got distracted by the TV. And then I had cottage cheese and blueberries. This is a really good combination I've been enjoying lately. And you'll see a lot of this food here is pretty clean. A lot of 1 ingredient foods. Yes, sausages are obviously, there's more to it in there, but pretty clean overall. And then after that, this is where I had my dessert. This is something I eat pretty frequently. This is a pumpkin dessert type dish. I've talked about it a lot, but it's like a mixture of pudding and pumpkin and milk and some cookies on top. And that was pretty much my refeed yesterday. Now, here's the thing is, after that refeed, like my last couple refeeds, I kind of overdo it with those cookies that I put in that pudding. It's something that it's become a habit now. After eating all of that, I sit on the couch and I watch TV and I eat like 5 or 6 more cookies. And that's what I did yesterday. But even after that, just to share with you all here, wrong slide. Here's the correct one. If you look at the very last line there for yesterday, October 13th, I ended up eating close to 3,700 calories, 200 grams of protein, and my last 4 refeeds have been around the same amount. It's really weird because I feel like 3,700 calories is satiating for me, where before it used to be 6,000 calories to feel satiated. It also just might be because my food choices have been different. And even though I really want to keep my calories under 3,000, this is still a huge win, because if you think about it, my TDEE, how many calories I burn per day, is around 2,300. So in 2 days, I burn about 4,600 calories, and I'm only eating every other day at around 3,600, 3,700, 3,800 calories. So I'm still putting myself at a caloric deficit. So I'll take it as a win. My last 10 refeed weights and fasted weights, if you see here, my last 10 refeed weights, I will gain anywhere from 4 to 6 pounds. But if you look at the very bottom here, Yesterday's refeed, everything I showed you, I ended up gaining 7 pounds. And remember what I said earlier. Many of us sometimes look at the scale after a refeed or even just after a fast. We don't like what it says or what it shows, and then it discourages us. And then we end up going off the deep end. I gained 7 pounds this morning. Is it changing what I did after? Did I say, well, I didn't hit my caloric limit, I went over, so now I should just eat more? That's not what happened. I ate until I felt satiated. I hit my timer. This morning when I woke up, I do what I do every morning. I walked to the gym, walked back home, got ready for work, and I'm just doing what I need to do. Now, did I gain 7 pounds of fat from yesterday's refeed? No, of course not. How do I know? Well, first of all, my calories were around 3,700. So that doesn't even equate. Since a pound of fat is around 3,500 calories, I would have had to eat way more calories to gain 7 pounds of fat. Obviously, the 7 pounds I gained is a combination of the food that I ate, water being held onto, waste being held onto. And we all know what this looks like afterwards, because if you look at where it's highlighted in green, that is my weight after a 24+ hour fast. And you'll see me drop 4, 5, 6 pounds. Did it mean I lost 4, 5, 6 pounds of fat? No, of course not. This is why it's really important to not let the scale mess with your head in that way. The weight will push itself up, and it will also push itself down if you trust the process, especially if you're fasting like I am and pushing a 24+ hour fast. You'll notice the water weight drop after a refeed. So don't worry about it so much. Do not let that number get to your head in that way. Over the last 39 refeeds, I have kept my refeed time right around 5 hours. My average calories per refeed still moving down a little bit. It's at around close to 4,100 calories. Average protein per refeed around 210. So the stuff highlighted in green, I'm happy with. My average calories per refeed, sure, I need to work on it, but it isn't going to change everything else that I'm doing for myself. It's more than just fasting. I say this every single day, but this is a combination of fasting and better eating and cardio and strength training and getting good sleep in and taking care of my mental health. In the last 83 days, my daily step average is close to 16,000 steps. Yesterday's step count was also close to 16,000 steps. I'm way above goal. My goal is to just hit about 13,000 steps a day on average, or 15,000 steps 6 times a week. Strength training, I do it every morning after a refeed. Today was no different. Last night, I refed. You just saw everything I ate. This morning, I walked about 45 minutes before I went to the gym. And it's not like it takes me less to get to the gym. I just take a long route because I want to get the steps in, because I'm doing my language learning. After I was at the gym, I lifted heavy. I put my calories to work. Think about this. For many of you who overeat or who throw away the day and then you just eat whatever, most of you who do that, you're not even taking advantage of those calories. Now you're just letting it sit while you lay on the couch, and you let days go by and you don't even put the calories to use. When if you think about it, having a quote unquote bad day where you overeat, you should be taking advantage of those calories. Put it to use. Why wouldn't you? I abide by something that I call the 80-20 rule. What does that mean? That means for me that 80% of the time I do what I need to do. 80% of the time I'm fasting. 80% of the time when I refeed, I keep my calories in check. 80% of the time I'm getting my steps in. In the last 83 days, I have had 80% days. The majority of my Days have been where I'm keeping myself in check. Then my 20% days are days where I go out with friends. I am going to a party. I'm going to a bar in the evening. And you'll see me eat a lot. My average calories on my 20% days are 5,900. But look at the frequency. 13 of the last 83 days have been 20% days. I do this because it's a good split. I feel like an 80-20 split is good for me. That means that 20% of the time, or if you think about it, it's maybe once a week. Once a week, I am not counting calories that diligently. Once a week, I am overeating. Once a week, I'm having some drinks with friends. You don't have to do it this way. This is just my way of giving myself an opportunity to not be so strict with what I'm doing. This is also really just another example of imperfect consistency in that way. My refeed goals, though, stay the same. Even though I'm still eating more than 3,000 calories, I still really want to keep them under 3,000 because I would love to eventually do this on a regular basis, is maybe do OMAD. That sounds like one of my final goals when I get to where I need to be. And I'm not saying I would do OMAD every day, but maybe the majority of the time I do OMAD, maybe 4 times a week, maybe 5 times a week. And then the other 2 days, I take a day off from food. But I can only get there if I can control my calories. If you look at the very bottom there, the dates highlighted in green are days I was able to complete or hit that goal. Days in yellow, not so much, but not completely out of hand. The days in red, well, those are my 20% days. And look at how infrequent that happens. But I do have a goal for the month of October, and it's not a fasting goal. Instead, it's a goal to just keep myself at a caloric deficit of close to 11,000 calories, 10,500. I want to be at a caloric deficit of 10,500 calories. If you see the last few days, if you see where it's highlighted, you'll see what my calorie balance is like. And to the right of it, you'll see the pace that I need to be at to lose 10,500 calories by the end of October. And if you look at October 13th, which is yesterday, I am beating that pace. The last 2 days, I am ahead of that pace. Because if you look at October 13th, I'm currently at a deficit of 4,500 calories. My pace is right now for the 13th is to be at 4,400, but that pace keeps growing every day. So I need to make sure to keep my calories in a deficit every single day. This is just something that works for me. You have to remember, when I first started my journey, I wasn't even tracking calories in that way. At the very beginning, I was just fasting for 4 days because if you think about it, my TDEE was way higher back then because I weighed more. So my TDEE back then was maybe even closer to 3,000. And fasting for 4 days, my body was probably burning like 12,000 calories for 4 days. And then I would eat maybe 6,000, 7,000 calories. That's how I was able to lose the weight. I wasn't even really counting. But I was fasting for so long that I knew it didn't matter. I was going to lose the weight because I knew how I ate. So you don't have to count calories. You don't have to be as diligent about it. But I know that I have to, especially with me fasting for less, because I'm not fasting for 4 days. I'm not fasting for an extended period of time. So I have to be more mindful about the way I eat. That's pretty much my nerd stats for the day. Willis says, Jerome, Boar's Head makes good uncredited sausages? Uncured. I'll have to take a look. Thanks for sharing, Willis. I'll have to take a look. I know of the brand. I don't know if I've ever had it before. Aisha says, I'm going to have Brussels sprouts for my refeed tomorrow. Let me know how that goes. It's so good. It's my favorite. Kevin says, hi, Kevin. Did I say hi to you? I can't remember. I think I will too. I make a creamy Brussels sprouts with parm and cream and bacon. That actually sounds really good. That sounds so good. Anyway, today's not an eating day for me, so I'm fasting all day today. Paula, hi Paula. I don't remember if I've seen you here before. Currently fasting 144 hours every week. You're 3 weeks in. You're doing 144. That's amazing. Congrats to you. How are you feeling? How long are you going for? I'm curious. Share with us. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for sharing with everyone here in chat. I love that. I love that. Keep us posted. Keep us posted on what you're doing. Okay. So, fit check. Oh man. So I'll be honest. I don't really feel like doing fit check because I'm 7 pounds up in weight and I'm feeling quite bloated today, but we're going to do fit check because it's important for me. What is fit check? Fit check is when I stand back here and I show you what I look like physically. Fit check is an opportunity for me to be accountable. I do this so that even though I gained all that weight yesterday, I don't hide it. I don't pretend it never happened because that's where my head usually goes. Because then I'll be like, well, I already gained 7 pounds. I already ate all this food. Might as well eat a second day because you know what? I have no one to be accountable to or accountable for. That's why I do fit check. I'm not saying you need that type of accountability, but if it's important for you, find that accountability, however you might find that. Now, when it comes to fit, I see people already sharing the fit check emoji. When it comes to, you guys didn't even put the Brussels sprouts emoji when I was eating the Brussels sprouts. I was like, I wonder if anyone's going to throw, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just funny. Dynamite says, be honest. Fit check is mostly to show off your fits. Maybe, but today's a day I'd rather not do fit check because I'm up in weight. But before I continue with fit check, I want to remind people that I have been overweight for my entire life. As a kid, which is the emoji that people are posting up here, in my adolescent years, as a teenager, in my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s. I have been overweight, but also obese, morbidly obese my entire life. Why do I share all those photos? So that you understand that I have been this way my entire life. It's not like I just gained this weight in the last 5 years, in the last 10 years, but this is also to remind you that I have now lost this weight and I have now kept this weight off for almost 2 years doing this naturally. I'm not on any medication. I do not take GLP-1. I'm not on Ozempic or have had any of those injections. I have never had weight loss surgery. I have done this naturally through fasting, through making better choices eating, through exercising, through good sleep, through working on every weight loss lever that I can. I share those photos so that for any of you who might feel like there's no hope, that I can't get to this point naturally, there's still maybe an opportunity. And you're talking to someone who's 44 years old who was able to do this in his 40s. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take your medication. And I'm not saying that GLP isn't right for you or that weight loss surgery isn't right for you. I'm not trying to demonize those things. I'm not, because you have to do what works for you. You have to figure out if that's truly what you need to help you move forward. I just share this so that you understand that maybe what you need is accountability. Maybe what you need is working on your habits, building good, healthy habits and breaking bad ones. So, as I am 7 pounds heavier, we will do fit check I'm currently wearing a extra large boy shirt. Why do I wear a boy shirt? Because I'm short, I'm 5'3". Also, I've lost a good amount of weight, but I am feeling a bit bloated right now. But we'll do fit check. Here's front shot right here. These pants are boys' pants too, just FYI. Side shot. Rear. Side. And again, I'm 7 pounds up right now. I feel bloated here. You can see as I hold this extra fat that's here. But for the most part, I do feel lean. I know a lot of this is bloat. I know tomorrow I'll feel leaner. This is also, for me, even when I poke at my stomach that way, it's probably a combination of belly fat and loose skin, right? Like this is, I mean, you can see, right? Like as I pinch here, it's probably a combination of belly fat and loose skin. But I also know this is also why I'm trying to be more focused on being in a caloric deficit, because I know that I need to be in a caloric deficit to lose more body fat. I do feel like the majority of my body fat is left on my belly, because I don't think I really have it much anywhere else. I mean, maybe I do, but I have no idea. I'm not there just yet. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like in another 2 weeks when I do lose that. And then I'll figure out what my next plans are for the month of November. So that's Fit Check, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and I'll break into Q&A. So if you have any questions or if you have anything that you want to talk about, I have about 10 minutes or so because I need to prep for a meeting in a little bit. But if any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask them now. I will answer what I can. In the meantime, for any of you who are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We'll get on a Zoom call or a video call just like this, and we can put a game plan and a strategy together. Remember, most of us already know how to lose weight. A lot of it is common sense. If you're here right now, you know that fasting, eating 0 calories is going to get body fat off of you. It is going to push the scale down. You already know that. Most of you already know that eating healthy is going to help you lose weight. Most of you already know that exercise and strength training are really good things for you to do to help you lose weight. It's not rocket science. There isn't much when it comes to that. Good, healthy habits is what will help you lose weight. But maybe the missing piece is accountability. Maybe you're looking for an accountability partner. You can go to finallyfasting.com if you want to book a session with me, but also remember, you don't need to. Maybe your accountability is something different. Maybe the accountability is just being here on stream and sharing with us and letting us know how you're doing. And sometimes it's just something like that that really changes your outlook. When you realize, oh, I don't have to live the all or nothing lifestyle. I can do something imperfectly consistent and I can just be accountable, and that's enough. And if I can help you find that, the more power to you. Good for you. That's what I want. I want everyone who's in here to be able to be as happy and healthy as they can be. So if that's something you're looking for, you can check that out. But if you want to support me in a different way, if you go to the link in this live stream description, if you go to the description of this live stream, is what I meant to say, there's a link in there. If you go to that link, you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. What is the Finally Fasting fam? It is a membership on YouTube, but if you were to join it, you'll get your name on the intros of these live streams. So at the very beginning of these live streams, I throw people's names up there. You also get a custom badge next to your name. I think your name's also a different color. I believe it's green. And you get to use custom emoji like people were throwing up earlier. So if that's something you're interested in, I would take a look at that. It's just an additional way to support me. If you do join the higher tier, then you can be part of the accountability, or you can be part of the autophagy live stream that we do on Wednesday afternoons or Wednesday evenings. And that's where we do a group coaching session. That means that more than just me is on camera. Other people will be on camera. You don't have to, but other people can or will. People will share where they're at. We have a communal spreadsheet where we share our goals for the week. Everyone's goals are individualized. So if you're interested in that, like I said, take a look at the link in the description of this live stream. Okay, that's all I got. Let me see if there are any questions. I have about 10 minutes, so let's take a look. I love that Margaret's and Aisha's are both here. Okay, so Margaret, Aisha, what time is the live stream tomorrow? What time do I plan on live streaming tomorrow? Let me take a look at my calendar. Again, it gives me the opportunity to block time off. And as I'm looking at it right now, actually, let's do a later one for tomorrow. Let's do one around 3:30 p.m. So, because I think that'll be, no, it can't be. Tomorrow is the autophagy live stream. So no, so actually I need to block off time for that tomorrow too. We're going to do an earlier one tomorrow. Let's do an earlier one tomorrow. Sorry, my fault. Since I'm doing 2 live streams. Tomorrow will be, I would say, anywhere from 11:30 in the morning to 12:30 p.m. Central. Okay. So for anyone who's watching this right now, if you want to join in tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central to 12:30 p.m. Central, I should be live streaming around that time. Thank you for the question, Margaret and Aisha. Greg says, hey, Jerome, how much did you lose? Looking great. I'm doing 24 and 20 hours every day. Thanks for sharing with us. How is that going for you, the 24s and 20s? Hopefully you're finding success doing that. Hopefully you're also working on your other weight loss levers. How much did I lose? Currently I'm around 80 pounds lost, but at my heaviest, I was 235. And at my lightest, I was under 125. I was like 124 point something. So if you're thinking about how much I've lost in total, I've lost at one point over 110 pounds. But right now I'm somewhere around 80 pounds that I've lost. 80, 90-ish pounds if you take my heaviest weight. Because yesterday I was 140. Today I'm 147 because of my refeed. But yeah, at 235 at my heaviest, that would put me at around 90 to 95 pounds down at this point. Keep us posted, Greg, on your journey. Keep us posted. Thanks, Aisha. Aisha says, Jerome's looking slim and swole. I never know how to respond to those comments, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Patty with a $5 super chat. Patty, thank you for the support. Patty with a $5 super chat says, hey, I've had good and bad days the last couple of weeks. Holidays are finished. That's right. Patty just had Canadian Thanksgiving, or just Thanksgiving. How was it, Patty? And I'm back on track with modified fasting. Thank you for sharing with us, Patty. Thank you for also being transparent about what your journey is looking like. Knowing that, yeah, you had some good days, you've had some bad days, but that's exactly what this is about. Our journey is always going to be a combination of both. And the way I look at it is, hopefully the good days outweigh the bad days. And if they don't, for anybody who's watching this and you know, you're like, Yeah, but my bad days are outweighing the good days. Well, then it's a matter of changing that. It's a matter of making small steps to then have the good days outweigh the bad, whatever that might look like. It just doesn't change overnight. It takes time. It absolutely takes time. Thank you for sharing with us, Patty. And thank you for the donation. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Oops. Throwing a bunch of weird. Okay. Let me scroll back up here. Blessed says, does anyone else find that they get hungrier when they do work out? This is very common. For me, I don't know. It doesn't happen to me, but this is very common for many people, Blessed. And I'm sure other people will probably share their experience with it. It's day 2 of my fast, and my fast lasted 5 minutes because I just got hungrier and more tempted as I started walking. Is this all in the mind? It could be, Blessed, but it could be a combination of both too. And so sometimes when people are fasting for long periods of time, sometimes you have to prioritize what's more important to you at that point. Even for me, I don't lift weights anymore if I'm fasting for the entire day. So like today, for example, I lifted weights because I ate last night. I'm using my calories to lift weights. But then tomorrow, because I'm going to be 24 plus hours fasted, tomorrow's not a lifting day. And it's not because I'm going to be hungrier, but like I'm doing it because I want to use my calories to lift weights. But I know that for some people, working out excessively or lifting weights at the gym can trigger hunger in that way. So you might have to play around with that. Even for you to be, like it's day 2 of my fast. My fast lasted 5 minutes because I just got hungrier. It's going to be trial and error. You might have to build up to that. Keep us posted, Blessed Life. Again, it is different for everyone. Thank you for sharing. Greg says, what do you suggest? I'm 57, 177. I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. How many hours can I fast to lose 20 pounds? My question to you, Greg, is there a hurry? Is there a hurry to lose that 20 pounds? And I know what the answer is for most of us. It's like, yes, I just want to lose it as quickly as possible. Well, here's the thing, Greg. What do I suggest? I suggest you fast for as long as you can. Don't get tied to a number. Don't say, I have to do 36s. I have to do 72s. I have to do 23s. If anything, just practice fasting for as long as you can, eating clean, working on exercise, and then going again. That's all that it takes. You will be surprised how long you can push your fast if you just keep showing up every day. I don't really have a number that I would suggest because it really depends on how you eat. How clean is your diet? Because if your diet isn't clean, if you're eating way too many calories, then the answer lies into, well, it's time to fast for longer or it's time to clean up the diet. Maybe other people can share. I was doing 90-hour fasts, but I know that's not for everyone. You don't know what your number is until you start pushing it. So right now, right, you said you're doing around 20-ish or so. Just keep us posted. See if you're able to push that longer. Maybe you will one day, maybe you won't. And remember, not every day has to be long fasts. Maybe you're doing one long fast once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. Or you're doing them rolling. You're doing a 33 and then a 48 and then a 39, right? And mixing it up. Be flexible with your fasting, Greg. Keep us posted. Yeah, Happy Bunny says, I've been on the treadmill, very slow speed for 10 minutes already. This was really hard for me to overcome a few days ago. That's a huge win, Happy Bunny. Thank you for sharing with us. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's just getting at it, doing what you have to do. I love that for you. Claddy says, I just finished a 7-day fast Sunday. Congrats, Claddy. Now I'm rolling 90s and wanted to eat but after some broth and salad, I just couldn't eat anymore. Just didn't understand it. This is also common too. There are a lot of people who kind of run into that. Sometimes for people who fast for a long period of time, sometimes it just takes something small and then you're able to push again. But maybe it's an opportunity for you to listen to your hunger cues and really just eat when you're feeling it. And then if not, you prolong it. But congrats on doing a 7-day and now rolling into the 90s. Keep us posted, Claddy. Thanks for sharing. Thank you for sharing with us. Time is coming up for me, so I'm going to maybe do 1 or 2 more, and then I need to sign off of here because I need to prep for my meeting. But Ejuner, I don't know if I'm saying that right. You'll have to let me know. Or is it E-Gunner? I'm not sure. Says, do you think it's worth it to aim to stay in ketosis by doing carnivore or just refeed like you're doing and eat anything I want? Again, this is going to depend from person to person. The real answer here, E-Gunner, and I know people can chime in, please. I know there are a number of people who do carnivore or who do keto, and people want to stay in ketosis. I completely understand that, and I respect that. I want people to do what works for them. The real question you have to ask yourself, E-Gunner, is being in ketosis, is eating carnivore something that you can do long-term? Is it actually sustainable? Or are you that person who does carnivore, and then the moment you don't want to do carnivore, you're eating a bunch of foods that are processed, ultra processed. You're not even eating clean anymore. You're just completely going off the rails. Because if you're doing that, then maybe being in carnivore or doing carnivore and staying in ketosis isn't the right call right now. And it doesn't mean that you can't revisit it, because you absolutely can. That's the beauty when it comes to doing something imperfectly consistent. You are working on every tool, or you're working every tool that you have. So maybe for now, if you're able to do carnivore and it works, fine. But the moment that it doesn't, you don't go completely overboard, and instead you refeed. Maybe you can eat anything you want, but you still have to do it in moderation. There still has to be balance when it comes to that. Keep us posted, E-Gunner, because this is what ends up happening to a lot of people is we get into this place where we get so... we think there's only one way to do anything. There's only one way to fast. And if you don't fast this way, then shame on you. There's only one way to eat. And if you don't eat this way, shame on you. If you don't exercise this way, then shame on you. When in reality, that's a bunch of bullshit. It really is. Why is there only one way? That's why when people told me, eat this way, fast this way, I was like, but what if I don't want to? What if I still want to eat 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories, even if it wasn't the best thing to do then? It worked for me. I got the weight off that way. When people told me not to fast for that long, but it works for me and I'm not having any issues and I can still work out and I can still work a full-time job. This is why I tell people you have to just see what works for you and try different things. Don't be ashamed of that. When people get so hung up on fasting a certain way and it has to be the cleanest way to fast, I'm not saying that you can't do that. Do that if it works for you. Get the autophagy effects if that works for you. But also, if I want to have a Coke Zero or have a black coffee, a black iced coffee, because that's what I enjoy, and I'm able to still fast and lose weight, why wouldn't I do that? But Jerome, that's not real fasting. Well, fuck you. I don't care. Because for me, I'm more about, is this going to be sustainable? Is this going to give me health benefits? Is this going to keep the weight down? Am I still going to have optimal blood work when I go to the doctor? That's what's important for me. And it also doesn't mean that you cannot do that in the future. You want to clean up the way you fast in the future? You can do that, just like the way you clean up your eating. And I hope this wasn't just, it's not like this was just meant for that specific question. And I wasn't just talking to you specifically. I just want people to know, don't be tied into just one specific thing. So everyone, I know there are other questions, and Typically, I try to get to everything, but I can't today because I do have to prep for this meeting. So I need to run off. But that's it for today. Before I go, just really quick, I want to give a special thanks to Miss Peaceful One, to Peace to All, to Jacques with the huge donation, and to Patty as well. Thank you all for the super chats today. Thank you for the extra support. Thank you for donating in that way. That means so much to me. Thank you to all my Finally Fasting fam members. Thank you for supporting me in that way. I appreciate that so much. And thank you to all my everyday regulars. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being accountable. Thank you for sharing with us. I cannot stress how important it is that you share your story with us, because it reminds other people that you are not alone. And with that being said, I've been doing this for 709 days. Do not think for a second you're doing this alone, because I've been doing this for a long damn time. Okay, that's all I got for today. I really do need to sign off of here, so I'm going to do my obligatory wave, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone. Stay accountable. I'll see you soon. Take care.